How's it going? Jason here, and I'm going to help you get your Bible reading in for the next year. I just bought this comic Bible online. Look at this. Huge. I'm reading some of the advertising for it. This is the Kingstone comic Bible. It comes in 3 huge volumes. Like huge volumes. These are thick. The size your Bible by itself would be. There's 3 of them. So I read some of those, like 10,000 panels of the artwork here, all these different artists. It's not just one guy. There's some very top talent too that's been conscripted into this endeavor. But we're gonna look at just volume 1 today because it's so long. But there's some good things in here. Some good things in here that I was noticing. Of course, myself, I'm a comic creator, so I'm always just kind of doing things like this to look at what other people do, their kind of stuff. So there we are. So before we get going, I've kind of got my own philosophy on artwork when it comes to like biblical illustration and things. I grew up in church. They hand out those Sunday school pamphlets, all kinds of varying types of artwork and things that you could see every Sunday morning. Some of the Christian video when they're going through, there's illustrators that do great pencil and watercolor illustrations, different things of the biblical times. So I'm going to call some things Sunday school artwork, and I'm going to call some things more modern comic book artwork. So Sunday school is kind of typically what you would see. It's not bad. It's not a negative connotation that I'm saying. I'm just saying it's not what I, like as an adult looking to improve his own art skills, would like want to see. Yeah, welcome to the READview, by the way. Just where you get to look over my shoulder, or look through my webcam over my shoulder. So it's Garden of Eden. This is how we would imagine it. Just a nice garden with a bunch of trees, some fruit and junk. Just like this great earth is void and without form, and it's casting a shadow on nothing. In order to do this, you gotta be good at drawing animals, because animals is like the last thing every comic book guy tries to draw, I think. You mostly just want to draw people punching each other. This is a little tropes of biblical illustration, especially the creation story in the Garden of Eden. Is well-placed foliage. I think this is more like a collage, because realistically, either Adam was really huge, which some theologians speculate, but that line's kind of small compared to that big old dude. Page 1 comics. Dragon Rage? As early as the Garden of Eden? There's nothing new under the sun, ladies and gentlemen. The fruit probably was not an apple, so get over it, people. Well-placed foliage. This is good. God made skins for coverings for them. You got the skin from somewhere. Animals see that bear's like, man, that was my homeboy. Alright, so this is a confusing panel right here. It's like so this is Cain killing Abel. See the knife, and you see the word crack. Because I've seen a lot of biblical illustration in which he just takes a rock and whacks him over the head with a rock. And that's where the crack would come from, but in this, he's got the knife, so I'm not sure. Okay, some more humans. Humaning. Good coloring. Good rendition. It's just slightly better than what I would consider, Sunday school artwork. Incidentally, there's like 2 versions of all this stuff. There's like a floppy paperback comic book that these all came out in, and then this is the compiled version, has some different artwork in it. Because I bought some of the small floppy ones, even on the digital on Comixology, and they're different than the illustrations that are in here, and the storylines and different things. So this is done by a lot of professional people here. Here's some great artwork here. Look at this guy. Mad guy. Mad guy is mad. Lifespan, no more 120 years. I don't think I agree with that, because that's being beaten today by people. I think it was 120 years that Noah had to preach the flood and build the ark. That was the 120 years. There, I said it. So this is good drawings of animals. There's a little texture on the elephant here. I think the colorist did there's this texture this way, and then there's one that's kind of going cross grain against all of that to show more wrinkles. It's like he has a the Photoshop guy just slapped it on there. Animals. Some good animal drawings there. Good stuff. So this is like Art Shift doing some Sunday school kind of art here, I think. It's good, sure, it's not bad, good illustrations, but you know, like the bigger expressive eyes on people, you know, the proportions are, you know, they're comic booky proportions. Another Art Shift. Now when I saw this right here, I was like, okay, this is different. When I saw this this kind of style, very distinctive, I'm like, I've seen this artwork style before. I think it was the Immortal Hulk or something. I'm thinking about it, but there's no credits really here. You can find out which chapters. The Kingstone Comics comes with a digital PDF you get with a bunch of links in it that goes to different places. So this is the story of Nimrod. So Nimrod's the guy here. He's depicted here, very threatening. And this whole section just kind of looks like a scary movie almost. These freaky looking people right here, these big eyeballs, super dark shadows, exaggerated features. Look at that guy's eyes right there. Like that's the inker mess. I don't know if the inker messed that up or what, but very expressed. Look at that. Ew. Threatening. Totally shifted gears here. And so this is Kyle Hotz, after Noah probably. So this is the digital version I got on the screen here. Well, it doesn't specifically credit him here, but you can tell the art guy. He does another book, which we're going to talk about in a second, where it's obviously him. Anyways, now this is to me, this is the best one, the Book of Job, as far as illustrating, coloring, mood, just good artwork. So Mrs. Job has green skin. That's kind of like this feast, and you have different kind of people here. You got like you have this Aztec Mayan guy, and then there's a typical Bible looking dude, and this guy right here has red skin. He's like a Sith pureblood going on here. All right, but just look at the mood set, like the panels like this, like the mist and the purples right here, the knockdown on the mountains. I just want to stare at that, you know. I just want to stare at that. The throne room of heaven, or this conceptualization of it, actual heaven. And this is Satan, who you can see also. He suffers from male pattern baldness, and his hair looks like kind of snakes or kind of flowing ink blots and stuff. And he's got like Star Wars The Old Republic armor on. Which is cool. Right on, man. Something happens, and then stuff burns down. Just bad stuff. It's just great illustration of that. Him and the colorist in tandem do very good fire and like smoke kind of effects right here. Very impressionistic at some points. That's the kind of artwork I like, that kind of straddles the line between like that great pencil and ink plus but more of an impressionistic kind of style. I look at her, you know, I don't know if you can see how well you can see this, but she's I don't know, she's drawn this expression, but then the lighting and the colorist is put the highlights in a fashion that kind of highlights or emphasizes the eye here, and maybe the shine here and there, but the rest is kind of in shadow. So using light and dark to like bring out what you think is important. Cool looking tornado. It looks good on the screen right now, but if you don't have a good light, you won't be able to see it very much. Tornado. But it's just very good drawing. And if you look real close, I mean, you have to draw buildings being destroyed and everything, but if you look, what are those lines really? Kind of squiggly, blocky shapes, darkness. It's been enhanced with by the colorist and stuff. And tornadoes make a S noise. So anyways, Job takes this big downturn, and as he's going along, people just come tell him all his stuff blew up and all his family died. So he gets very angry. This is super cool right here. This illustration. The Bible says he cuts off his hair and throws ashes on himself. And so this is like the artist's depiction of that. And it's just perfect, going from this groomed Middle Eastern guy going down. He's just cutting off, and the colors are moody. He's actually, I think, using the color black for his shadows here. Some people hate that, think it's muddy, but to me, it really brings out the mood and the shadow of the knife right here. This panel made the cover. This is the panel that made the cover, but in reverse. So, but just great stuff. All the way, like, and if you look close, you can just look at the line work. It's not super complicated, not your typical comic book. This is kind of when you just want to study, not really read. You kind of want to study it. The clouds are done kind of like in a color hold, one line, but then the colorist is accentuated with like highlights on the rocks and stuff. It's great. They roll the stone in front of the grave. You know, it's kind of foreshadowing, kind of like Jesus. But hold it, life, death, fortune, righteousness, punishment, all this stuff becomes the themes of Job as he questions his faith and how this stuff plays into the life of a righteous person, the guy that does all the right things, and all the bad things happen. And we see that God allows it to happen. Satan thinks at his behest, but God is actually stretching the rubber band, so to speak, to let it go and bless Job later on. Curse God and die. Woman, please. Can't you see I'm busy? Takes a broken shard of a pottery and he's scraping in the wounds. You can see this. All right. This is Job kind of wandering. He's no text. You just look at the way he's kind of stumbling. This panel here is just like all the tree in him. It's just like a silhouette in the background, and with the colorist. I'd like to see the black and white version of this. You can go to this guy's the artist's website, and he has his inked pages up there. You can look through them all. It's my estimation that he is either using reference photos of himself, or he's using reference photos for Job pretty much only. Everyone else is kind of like, you know, you can get this, you can do the Loomis method, you can make that head, you get these poses, you can do all these things here, and you see some of the characters look a little cartoony, but Job is always like realistic, well rendered. The boils are always like perfect, make your skin crawl. Kind of like this to me is almost like a photo. Like this is like say a Mike Mayhew kind of drawing here, you know, like just you look at it and is he tracing over a photo? But you know, if you are, who cares? I mean, it looks sweet in the book. There's that tree again. It's almost like you start with the silhouette and just fill in the highlights. However he's doing it's just amazing. It's like I'm saying, these faces are kind of like, you know, cartoony but made look sweet with the colors and the way he renders. It's like some well-placed lines at the right spot. I just feel like he's using a reference model for Job. Job is where you see you know, pages like this. This is good because the colorer rendered it this way. But this picture of Job up here is just perfect. To make the book of Job this interesting to look at is crazy, because it's just a bunch of talking and philosophy and everything. And that could be an album cover. What I noticed that these pages here, it's lit, it's during the day, but there's no sun. Drawn or painted in, there's no sun anywhere. He's having these deep discussions with these people. They're saying, you must have did something wrong. But he's like, no, I did nothing wrong. God just let me go through this, and they can't understand it. They keep trying to get him to admit that he's in sin. Look at that. Does that make you just want pizza right now? Like pizza. The worst thing in the medical field is having to look at pictures of people with measles and rubella and stuff. Make your skin crawl. All we are is dust in the wind, dude. All right? Look at that. Look at that guy. Excellent. All right. Nice full page, or pretty much 3/4 page spread there. Anyway, so they go through this roundabout, and then God finally answers. Look at that face. That perfect. So most of this obviously is like photo bashing, texture bashing, or some specialty brushes or something. Then animals. Drawing the animals these guys eating. This is Behemoth. He talks about Behemoth, and people speculate that he was talking about dinosaurs or rhinoceros. Here's Leviathan in the deep. He still exists, I'm telling you. We're gonna find him. Just great stuff. Good artwork. Good artwork. I don't think it's coming across digitally or not, but this is like a greenish kind of hue to it. I like it. All these people, then these guys, of course, God yells at them, "What are you doing? You can't just like empathize with the guy. You gotta be all rebuking him." Okay, so then eventually the boils, he's healed. He goes home to his green wife. She has olive skin, but green olives. Job becomes like the priest. He knows how to do sacrifices. He kind of helps them to expiate their stupidity. But anyways, so Job and Mrs. Job are like blessed with double of everything at the end of this trial, and Satan rides off and like takes off like General Grievous. Curses. Anyways, the same artist goes over into the story of Abraham, which I could just sit here and just talk about this. Art. Let's see. I'm gonna just give you his name. It's Jeff Slemons. There's these feathering lines like for shadows, and then there's none in the iris though. And you can just that eye right there. I have this cool sparkle brush. I'll try it out. That's just me. Here's some cool hatching. This reminds me of those Conan, the Savage Sword of Conan comics. There's a hatching on the face. This guy, more boils. That's probably the most cartoony face I've seen this guy draw, but hey, I ain't tripping. There you are. Look at that. I like this panel here. I'm just gonna spend all day on this guy's work, Jeff Slemons, dude. So if I can get that Sodom and Gomorrah shot up on the screen. Check that out. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Can we zoom? Can I zoom on this thing? So you just gotta wonder, maybe the Jeff Slemons did like the inks here and the artwork down here, and then the colors filled in all this spectacular shower of brimstone from heaven. Wow. Man, unsung heroes here. Stuff. Be like discouraged and want to quit drawing now. Look at this. Like the I don't know who this colorist is, but it's the same person. It's kind of a watercolory thing to do these clouds here, which is different. This is kind of a watercolor feel back here. This page has watercolor clouds in it. Could be digital watercolor, but this looks like very good. Close to natural media there. As close as you can get. Coveted upshot. This is just good reference for you for later on. This is perfect. I just like it. Nice collage of faces. Look at those faces, man. Yeah, but don't use a reference though. Real artists don't use a reference, right? Okay, so here we have another shift right here, the artist shift. This to me is like Sunday school kind of artwork. And it's not bad, it's just great artwork. But to me it's got the like expressive eyes. One thing I did notice is everyone has this exact same mouth. Like they're all like unsure speech. Yeah, so they all kind of look unsure, like, I'm unsure. These guys are talking, they're kind of unsure. No one's sure of anything. It's pretty good. Pretty good facial expression there. I don't know, you know, it's like, can't complain. You're just trying to get a family drama across here, and you have to illustrate these things. This whole thing with the striped twigs, and then the spotted sheep, and the non-spotted black ones, and the white ones, and you're reading the Bible, you're like, what? But someone had to draw it, so it's Rachel and Leah. By this, we get to cool horror comic art guy, Kyle Hotz, right here in the book of Joseph. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, and that's that you could easily stretch that out to 22 pages. So kind of stylized and distorted figures. They got big expressive eyeballs too, but it's definitely not kitty art. This is another signature of Kyle Hotz. Does like the way he does fabric and robes. This is the coat of many colors, but everything's very, very moody here. They're not trying to be realistic, but portray a mood here. Oh, sorry, she would not be hard to turn down. So, just saying. But she tries to do some. It doesn't work, and I think it's more about him refusing and her lying about him to do that you would totally say no. Potiphar's got some stacked triceps. So look at that, dude. Look at that tricep. What is it, delts or just booming? Potiphar, dude. He must work in a gym. He's a gym owner. There's a lifeguard body. Lifeguard. Okay. He's got a fitness Insta. This is a variety of faces, man. They're just exaggerated. It's just great. And then look at this chunky dude right here with that thing, big old neck. And he gets hung. He interprets the dreams. Look at that. Bring him to me. All right. Darth Vader lives. Not only is he a righteous man, not only does he interpret dreams, but look at that, those abs, man. That's a washboard. Whoa. Yeah, this is... I looked him up, and I think he did, maybe it wasn't the whole run of the Immortal Hulk, and I think maybe he just did a bunch of covers. I wasn't sure. He wasn't prolific in the Immortal Hulk, but that's where I recognize this from. Obviously, he's going to do a lot of horror comics and horror. He does a lot of covers. Very dramatic use of cloth. Very good storytelling tool. That's why all the Sith and the Jedi have robes and capes. You can just do a lot of stuff with it. The burst behind the main character showing his rage, and then you would normally, it would be like the negative image here. Like you would think the background would be black and the sky here would be like a colored thing. But he reverses it just for the sake of the contrast. Kind of cool. He's obviously mad there, right? Jail them? Yeah. Very moody. The only thing I think that would contrast too much with Kyle Hotz's style is the fact that he's supposed to have the coat of many colors. You know, it's all bright and shiny. And it's supposed to be like his father's sign of approval and privilege. But it kind of looks more like they just did some gradients. Didn't put a lot of awesomeness in it. But other than that, this is like great. So I never heard of Kyle Hotz before, or at least that name. I recognized the artwork. I found the name. Hey, that's his name. But then the second I heard that, I started hearing his name on all these live streams with comic artists and stuff, and like Kyle Hotz is everywhere all of a sudden. Maybe this is his time. This is his time, because the 8-pack going on right here. What? Yeah, he's stacked, man. That guy's shredded. He must do a lot of... In Egypt, they must have a gym there too. Potiphar's ripped, and Joseph is good. He's all ripped. So, family drama is kind of boring. But with him drawing it, it's interesting. Like, they put the right artist on the right book. It makes it very interesting. But he meets up with his dad. You guys must move to Egypt with me. We have a swimming pool here. There you go. Take this with you everywhere, everybody. You intended for harm, but God intended it for good. That's not an exact quote, but that's what he's saying. Anyways, let me go back to another art shift here. The Ten Commandments is basically the book of Exodus. So now this is like a step above like that Sunday school art. And this is excellent illustration. This is excellent. Everything's nice and it's not all blackened out. You know, the faces and everything. You can see everything. Proportions are good. Costumes are like what you would normally expect, typical costumes. Good research in that area. He has the movie to go off of though, you know what I mean? He can watch the Ten Commandments and check out their costumes and stuff. But it's all very good, solid comic book art. This is stuff I remember like from the 90s, kind of like when I read Conan and all those kind of sword and sorcery kind of things. And so there's this good double page spread here. I'll put the double page spreads up on the digital. Blood, dead fish, magic hour lighting like this. The sun's blowing through the trees back there. It's kind of cool. And these guys standing there. Everyone's well proportioned, good costumes, good poses. There's no words, but you know exactly what's going on here. Like that's how city's looking at least, I guess. Good stuff. Let's go fast forward to the shot we really want to see. Animals. Anyways, what we really want to see is the crossing of the Red Sea, right? We want to see that crossing. Boils. More boils. A lot of boils in the Bible. A lot of skin diseases. I guess. Hailstones from heaven. flocks. I guess these are flies, probably. Flies. Gnats. Harvests are all dead. Blackness coming over the place. I think you can do blackness a little more graphically intense than this. I think this is a different artist. This just looks different. This is the money shot. Here you want it. It's right there, right there. There's that cover. We want to go to the interior. This is the money shot. If we want to apply for this job, it's okay to draw that shot. Okay, this shot? Yep, exactly that shot. More I get the cool colors and the warm colors on top of each other. Very scary. That's very scary. Oh, I'm scared. Good upshot in that guy's head. I mean, you've got the best reference. Found some good reference on there. Look at this. You got all this stuff you can look up. Same hand, same hair. See, they got the same clothes. It's kind of got the gauntlets, the robe. This is brown though. This is kind of white, just like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this is like white. That's exciting. Then the stories of Moses and the people of Israelis, you know, kind of being hard to pastor. So, crack a boom, crack a boom, crack a boom. Finally, good sound effects. Good sound effects. There's plagues hit Israel, and here's a talking donkey. Balaam and Balak. Then the angels, it was me talking, fool. Okay, Joshua. A big book of war. 31 battles fought, won. This is the Battle of Jericho. Yeah. I thought it'd be bigger. It's a good double page spread. A lot of fighting, a lot of spears, a lot of helmets. Oh. My buddy gave me he bought the comic books. They're available online, the little individual floppy editions. There's 1, 2, and 4. 3 is not available for the Book of Judges. It comes in 4 volumes. If 3 is not there, it's because it's here. I don't know if the guy just didn't do it or what. Another generation grew and they forgot what happened. So they start sinning. They go into their cyclical sin, cry out, get delivered, go back to sin, cry out, get delivered. This is an awesome story. Judge is it Ehud? Ehud and King Eglon. Is it Ehud? Yeah, Ehud. So he stabs a fat dude in the stomach and the handle disappears. That's what the Bible says. And then his guts spill out onto the ground. And then he takes off and these guys think, hey, he's taking a long time in the bathroom, ain't he? He's taking a long time in the bathroom. And they go in there, he's dead. And there's Deborah. She's a female judge. And these guys are going to battle, but only if you come with me, Mom. And they think we're all awesome, but really the enemy is seeing the Lord's army supplementing the ranks. You know, so that's kind of cool. Jael and the Nael. She nails his head to the floor. She nails his head to the floor. That's cool. So if you go to a lady's tent, she offers you goat milk, don't take it. Oh yeah, the angel with this Gideon. This is Gideon. Gideon has the cool, I consider it like the Nebuchadnezzar beard. It's like a pointy goatee, a mini goat, and he's got it pretty consistently. They shift artists again, but they keep the Nebuchadnezzar goatee on the guy the whole time. Most of the stuff is with good coloring, I'll say, good blacks. This is the close to the lines on this face. Love me some cross hatching. That's what that guy's saying there. Yeah, it's just different. He hatches on people's faces. Texture and shading, I guess. Maybe he just has a hairy face. I'm not sure. The hairy face guy. Another same shot. Same dude. I feel like I know her. I think she works at a hospital. I feel like I know her. This is kind of funny. This is good artwork. This is kind of like it's pretty good comic art. The shiny helmets, perfect lines. You know, there's not a lot of hatching. There's feathering out of the black and stuff, but he does some texture on the forearms here. He drew every brick. What? Brick guy. This is a James Ray's doing this or what? Some girls like, here's a present for you, Bubba. King. And then he goes, you know, stab me so that they can't say that I was killed by a woman, and then no one stabs him. I feel like I know that guy too. I feel like I've been to this guy's house, took him to the hospital once or something. Got a vulture head. Animals. Yeah, this is how it ends. Then there came most famous judge of Israel. Who is it? Samson. So what's going on here? But he's like got this whole Conan thing. Samson's basically Conan in the Bible. So he's fighting lions. He's all Yobar, yoked out, buff and ripped, long old hair. Yeah, check that guy out. Delilah. He's got women problems, dude. He-Man with she weakness. Edit that down so I can kill him. No, take him alive. Yeah, it's a different shift because his face is a little more crazy. He's who's that guy look like? Looks like Brad Pitt was buff or something. Weird. Like I said, you just draw it once and then you should be able to just do that. Yeah, look at that. Stay away. ObiWan, you're going to be the death of me. Anyways, did you get his eyes poked out yet? That's the thing with Samson, he's got his eyes poked out. Where are his poked out eyes at? I feel cheated. Eyes are still there. If they'd have poked his eyes out, they wouldn't have messed that panel up. See that? The upshot did not work for it because the eye is too big anyway. You should have poked his eyes out. It would have been way more graphic, but hey. If you're going to build a temple to a false god, don't put the two main support pillars right next to each other where a really strong guy can push them apart. I mean, the whole thing's falling. There's people up on here that's falling off, people over here falling off, just because of this right here. Bad architecture. Okay, so our art shift, it's a story shift because they re-explain all this stuff here. And they go into the more judges. I guess Samuel's the final judge. This is a dark time in the history of Israel. This is the book of Ruth. The book of Ruth would happen during the time of Judges, which is pretty good illustration. It's a little bit, it's kiddie friendly. It's got kid friendly kind of artwork, kind of Sunday schooly, but it's got that quality that I can appreciate. Like these rocks are rendered here, pretty good. Same guy, different hairdo. Okay, Samuel. I think this is the same. This is the guy I was like man crushing on earlier. This is Jeff Slemons or something. Jeff. I must look. This is still in the book of Judges. This is Jeff Slemons. You can tell it's the same guy from the book of Job. It's impressionistic, kind of more realistic. It's kind of semi cross hatching everywhere. Draws this big old guy. This is Eli the priest. He's a big old dude. And he trains up young Samuel. Action-y. Look at these guys over here. Look at those faces. I like these upshots. He's really good at it. I like to draw like this. Just gotta work on those backgrounds. Look at that face. Yeah. Fix your teeth. Another retelling. Another art shift here. Here's David's story. You know what happens with David. He's got to fight Goliath. He's going to grow up. Suffer all these rebellions. You know David was a redhead. And the Bible says he was ruddy and good looking, so they kind of draw him kind of blondie, reddy hair. Art shift. Yeah. It's like Prince Valiant kind of artwork here. Jonathan and David. Can't wait to read through some of that stuff. Be good. Oh, art shift. This looks like stuff that's taken from the original comic books that they did these on, because this looks a little older, not as digitally done, maybe. Cloth renderings and stuff. I suppose I could just use this whole book for reference on how to render clothing and robes and stuff. Yeah, you're the man. Yeah, like a mirror. He's like at home. He's like, yeah, what's up, girl? Who's that over there? It's Bathsheba. Go get her. And he sends her former Hittite husband into the front lines to get killed. And they mourn. He marries her, then their baby dies, and then Nathan comes and confronts him. You're the man, David. You did this. He repents. The baby dies though, I think, and yeah, we go on. Amnon takes advantage of Tamar, which ticks off Absalom. Again, this big family drama. I always pictured him with big old bushy hair, kind of like Middle Eastern style, not the long. I guess David's got the blonde hair, maybe, or the redhead look, so maybe he's inherited that like to the max. But here David's got the black hair. Is that David? Yeah, he's got the black hair again, which, you know, plot hole. He gets skewered by Joab. He gets his hair caught in a tree when he's trying to flee. Then he's triple stabbed with some spears, and David cries. Joab's all, snap out of it, dude. We just fought a war for you. Anyways, Joab goes off killing folks. And they go chase down Sheba, the guy Sheba. And this smart lady goes, listen, don't kill us because of one guy. We're peaceful. He's like, sure, you're peaceful. Then throw his head over the wall. So they cut his head off and throw his head over the wall because they're so peaceful. They don't want any war. That's good. It worked. He needs practice drawing animals. Lion. This is the most important thing probably in the whole book of David's life that he did. Was to buy this plot of land for this sacrifice off of Ornan or Aruna the Jebusite, right here. Because that gives David's descendants the right to the Temple Mount. Shh. Don't tell him. Yeah, Psalm 22 contains 15 messianic paths. If you read Psalms 22, you'll think you're reading the New Testament, but it was written thousands of years ahead of that. But all of David's writings, this is the whole Psalms recap right here. All of David's writings. They wrote all it's all messianic. They wrote, so, all right. That's one volume right there. So if we go to the old table of contents over here, that's it. This 1/3. Solomon through probably Jonah or the prophets, probably the second volume, and the third volume is going to be. So coming up, there's going to be a lot more stuff. There's going to be some more Kyle Hotz artwork that we're going to be looking at, because he did the entire book of Revelation, which is perfect, because that is the scary book. That's the Stephen King novels of what do you call it? Stephen King and Tom Clancy kind of put together. That's what I would call it. The book of Revelation. So that's be good. Thanks for watching. Go on, check out Star Wars The Dark Hunter on Webtoons. We're up to episode 20 now. It'd be great. Link will be in the description. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for part 2 and part 3. And whatever little comic things I decided to do a little review on. Thanks. Goodbye.